Imagine looking up into the blue daytime sky and seeing a blazing star with a tail stretching across the heavens. It sounds like ancient mythology, but in April 2026, it could become a reality. A newly discovered celestial visitor is hurtling toward our Sun at an unfathomable speed. Its name is Comet C 2026 A1, also known as MAPS. It is a rare Sungrazer comet, and it is on a collision course with destiny. In just a few short weeks, it will face the ultimate trial by fire. Will it ignite the sky and become one of the greatest comets in recorded history, visible even in daylight? Or will the brutal, searing heat of the sun vaporize it into nothingness? The astronomical world is holding its breath. Today, we dive into the incredible discovery, the ancient origins, and the terrifying future of Comet MAPS. The story of Comet MAPS begins in one of the driest places on Earth. On the night of January 13th, 2026, 4 French astronomers were scanning the skies using automated telescopes from the MAPS-1 observatory in Chile's Atacama Desert. Their project, known by the acronym MAPS, was hunting for near-Earth asteroids. But what their software flagged that night was no ordinary space rock. It was a faint 18th magnitude blip in the constellation Columba. At first glance, it was completely invisible to the naked eye. But as the astronomers analyzed the data, they noticed a distinct hazy halo surrounding the object. This was not an asteroid. It was a comet. The discovery was officially announced on January 20th, 2026, instantly becoming the first major astronomical event of the year. To understand why astronomers are so excited, we have to look at exactly where this comet is heading. It is not just passing through. It is a Sungrazer, aiming for a terrifyingly close shave with our star. Comet C 2026 A1 is not just a random piece of ice. It is a member of the legendary Kreutz Sungrazer family. To understand the Kreutz comets, we have to travel back thousands of years. Astronomers believe that a massive parent comet, perhaps the Great Comet of 371 BC, observed by Aristotle, ventured too close to the Sun. The extreme gravitational tidal forces and blistering heat shattered this ancient giant into countless fragments. These shattered remnants have been orbiting the Sun on similar paths ever since, and occasionally one makes its way back to the inner solar system. The Kreutz family is responsible for some of the most magnificent broom stars in human history. The Great Comet of 1843, which was bright enough to be seen at high noon, and Comet Secchi in 1965 were both Kreutz Sungrazers. More recently, Comet Lovejoy dazzled stargazers in 2011. These comets are famous for their ability to survive blistering solar encounters and subsequently grow long, brilliant tails. Comet MAPS is the latest offspring of this ancient, shattered giant to make the perilous journey home. What makes Comet C 2026 A1 truly unprecedented is how and where it was found. Typically, Kreutz Sungrazers are incredibly small and faint. Because of this, they are usually only discovered right before they hit the Sun, often by space-based solar observatories. But Comet MAPS broke all the rules. When it was spotted on January 13th, it was over 300 million kilometers away from the Sun, more than 2 astronomical units out. This shattered the previous record held by the famous Comet Secchi. Discovering a Sungrazer this far out is practically unheard of. It allowed astronomers an unprecedented 81 days of lead time to study the comet before its solar encounter. Why was it visible so far away? It implies that the nucleus of Comet MAPS is substantial. Shining at a magnitude of 17.8 at that vast distance suggests the comet's icy heart could be over a kilometer wide. This record-breaking distance has allowed telescopes around the world to track its incoming path. Day by day, it brightens, crossing the orbit of Mars and hurtling through the constellation of Eridanus. Its icy surface is already feeling the warmth of the distant sun, beginning to sublimate and form the glowing turquoise coma that gives comets their ethereal beauty. The climax of this cosmic drama will occur on April 4th, 2026. On this day, Comet MAPS will reach Perihelion, its closest approach to the Sun, and close is an understatement. The comet will plunge to within 160,000 kilometers of the Sun's searing surface. The comet will be flying through the Sun's lower atmosphere, skimming through regions where the temperature reaches millions of degrees, within range of the highest recorded solar prominences. As it approaches this apocalyptic inferno, the comet will undergo unimaginable stress. The intense solar radiation will vaporize thousands of tons of ice and rock every second. Simultaneously, the immense gravitational pull of the Sun will exert terrifying tidal forces on the comet's fragile body, trying to rip it apart from the inside out. For a few tense hours, the comet will disappear into the blinding glare of the Sun. Astronomers will be watching blindly, relying on space-based coronagraphs to see if anything emerges on the other side. The physics of a sun-grazing event are brutally unforgiving. Many comets that attempt this maneuver disintegrate completely. If C 2026A1 breaks up around perihelion, it may become what astronomers call a headless wonder, a tail with no active nucleus, rapidly fading into the cosmic background. But what if it survives? If the icy heart of Comet MAPS is solid enough to endure the Sun's wrath, the aftermath could be spectacular. As the comet swings around the Sun and begins its outbound journey, the material that was violently blasted off its surface will form an enormous, brilliantly glowing tail. Due to a phenomenon known as forward scattering, where the dust particles backlit by the Sun reflect light directly toward Earth, the comet could experience a massive surge in brightness. In the best-case scenario, Comet MAPS could reach negative magnitudes, making it brighter than the brightest stars in the night sky. It could become a true great comet, potentially visible to the naked eye, even in broad daylight, just like its ancestor in 1843. It would emerge from the solar glare as a dazzling celestial sword, putting on a breathtaking show for observers. The tail could stretch across a massive portion of the sky, illuminated by the glowing turquoise light of diatomic carbon emissions. History gives us hope. Comet Lovejoy survived a similarly suicidal plunge in 2011, emerging without its head, but still generating a stunning tail visible for weeks. But MAPS has the potential to outshine even Lovejoy. If you want to catch a glimpse of this potential great comet, preparation is key. Throughout late February and March of 2026, Comet MAPS is steadily brightening as it glides through the constellation Eridanus and into Cetus. By mid-March, it should be visible through 8 to 10-inch telescopes, hovering low in the southwestern sky during the late evening twilight. Observers in the southern hemisphere will have the best vantage point, seeing it climb higher in darker skies. However, as it approaches its April 4th perihelion, it will become lost in the Sun's glare for ground-based observers. The true test comes immediately after. If it survives, it will become an incredibly bright, naked-eye object, though its proximity to the Sun will make it challenging to spot. You will need to look carefully during the brief windows of dawn or dusk. Using mobile stargazing apps can help you track its exact position. Whether Comet C 2026A1 MAPS becomes the daylight spectacle of the decade or fizzles out as a cosmic flop, its journey is a fascinating testament to the mechanics of our solar system. We are watching a piece of ancient history, preserved in ice for millennia, meeting its ultimate destiny. To stay up to date with Comet C 2026, A1 maps and more interesting facts about our cosmos, please consider subscribing.